Hey there, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are covering another 2024 NFL mock draft. If you're new to the channel and enjoy football content, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Starting off at number one, critical spot here, we have Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay, in my opinion, is going to be, seeking out a quarterback if they're in the actual first overall selection. And I look at Caleb Williams as the consensus number one player in the class. In terms of the quarterback position, he stands above the rest. There's a couple of other guys that are going to make strong cases potentially to be that QB1, but to me, Caleb Williams is that guy. And I think for Tampa Bay in that situation, they very well could be looking at a franchise quarterback. This is a little bit of a retool rather than a complete rebuild. They have a lot of talent currently on roster, especially at the receiver position. I just think that with their current quarterback situation heading into the year will not be super conducive for winning. Therefore, if they're in this kind of spot, Caleb Williams, in terms of his arm strength, poise, athleticism, he checks all the boxes, and I think this is a terrific pick if I'm Tampa Bay. Following that up is going to be Arizona. Arizona is in an interesting position, but to me, Marvin Harrison Jr. is that kind of guy that you want in your locker room. He is an absolute superstar, a transcendent player at the position. This guy, to me, seems to be a lock to for sure go top 3 in the draft. For him being a receiver and everything that he can bring to an offense, it's going to be transformational for this Cardinals team. Now, this is kind of interesting because some people might say, well, if they're picking 2, maybe they go ahead and select a quarterback. We will go ahead and see how the rest of this plays out, but Marvin Harrison Jr. at number 2 makes the most sense to me. You get the best player overall in the entire class here at number 2, and he is so tremendous from his route running ability, his hands. This guy can do it all at the receiver position, and he's been able to do it very, very consistently. And I think this year we're going to see not a lot of things on tape that are kind of, eye-catching in terms of him doing it the wrong way. This guy is super consistent across the board. At number 3, we have the Chicago Bears. Chicago Bears, to me, I'm seeing Dallas Turner as another guy that continues to rise up people's boards. He is an absolute freak of nature. This guy is going to test very well, in my opinion, when it comes to the scouting combine, and his production is going to see a huge uptick this year. Watch out for Dallas Turner's name. Chicago is going to continue to look and build on this defense. We saw on that, in that linebacking unit, they had committed quite a bit of money, more specifically to Tremaine Edmonds. Now you go ahead and you get a guy like Dallas Turner along that defensive line at that edge spot. This dude is legit. Chicago gets a stud at number 3. Following that up at number 4, we have Indianapolis. Indianapolis here, they're going to be eyeing up an edge as well. I think Jared Verse out of Florida State is the perfect fit for this team, perfect fit for the culture. The Colts are going to be looking to address that defense, in my opinion. With this division here, they're going to need to have a guy that's able to stop the run. Jared Verse can absolutely do that. And when you look at his play style, he is going to be phenomenal against the run. You think about the running backs in the division. You have, obviously Derrick Henry, Dameon Pierce, Travis Etienne. This is a really nice group of players at the running back position, so Jared Verse is going to be incredibly helpful in run defense moving forward. At number 5, we have Arizona. Here's where another domino continues to fall here. Drake May from North Carolina, the quarterback that has all the tools that you are looking for at the position in terms of his frame, athleticism, arm. Arizona in this kind of situation would be looking to trade Kyler Murray. And I think there's going to be plenty of suitors for him in the offseason. So I look at this as a major win for the Arizona Cardinals, getting to select Drake May and then having that ability to flip Kyler Murray. At number 6, we have the New England Patriots. And to me, when I look at the Patriots, they are looking for a specific type of corner. They have guys that they're going to be looking to lean on. Now, New England is kind of an interesting case for a guy like this, but you look at Christian Gonzalez, you look at Kool-Aid McKinstry, they could form one of the best cornerback duos in the entire league. These guys are going to be phenomenal together, in my opinion. New England can do a lot of different things. They might not necessarily look at that corner spot. Maybe they look more so at the receiver position, which I think is a likely outcome. This is not so much based off of need. This is just a really talented player fell into their lap at number 6, and that's what New England's going to go ahead and do. At number 7, we have the Tennessee Titans. To me, this is kind of interesting because Tennessee at the tight end spot is good. However, I think with what Mike Vrabel's trying to establish and basically rebuild for the Titans here is another consistent pass catcher. And I think with the ability to line Brock Bowers up in the slot, that creates so much value for him. He's a mismatch nightmare for corners and linebackers and safeties. This guy can absolutely do it all from a pass catching position. He can beat you in a lot of different ways. He's good after the catch. His catch radius is tremendous. He's competitive. That's everything that Tennessee is going to be looking for, and I see him being a real fit in destination here at number 7. Number 8, we have Washington. Joe Alt is the clear and obvious choice to me. I think when you look at the tackle class, it's actually going to be pretty strong at the top. There are 2 specific tackles that I love. Joe Alt is the ultimate Washington commander. You can have him at the tackle spot. You can kick him inside. Overall, the Commanders need another presence at that tackle spot and another offensive lineman to continue to build around. And this would be a really good foundation if they can add a player such as Joe Alt. At number 9, we have the Chicago Bears, and Emeka Egbuka is a name that we have to watch. Now, the Bears have done a lot in terms of trying to assemble a nice receiving core, but I think Egbuka could absolutely move the needle for them. Ryan Pace is not afraid to be bold, and this would be one of the more bold selections in the entire first round. But I think with what they can do with him and put him in a lot of different positions, this guy is phenomenal after the catch. He's a good route runner. I just have a hard time believing that Chicago could pass up a player this talented at 9, and the Bears are not afraid to make bold decisions. And that's what I really like about them in this new regime that they have it here in Chicago. To me, this is a perfect fit, and it's going to work out beautifully for Justin Fields. At number 10, we have the New Orleans Saints, and to me, the New Orleans Saints, you're looking at it from the scope of, okay, they're going to continue to address that defense. The offense is still kind of a work in progress. This is another transitional year for the New Orleans Saints, but looking at that secondary, Mickey Loomis's history tells us he does like to draft players from Ohio State, and we extend back to Marshawn Lattimore, and I think the latest rendition here will be Denzel Burke, a tremendous man-to-man guy, quick hips, fluid, and the New Orleans Saints could use another guy on the back end of that defense. So to me, Denzel Burke is a perfect fit for the scheme, and he's a perfect fit for exactly everything that New Orleans is trying to embody moving forward. At number 11, we have the LA Rams, and Olu Fashanu is going to be the pick here. The Rams have to continue to try to reshape what they were, what their previous identity was. Their offensive line continues to struggle. Why not get one of the best players available in the entire draft in Olu, who is just an absolute monster from a size perspective, a tremendous pass blocker, really, really good in the run game. He checks all the boxes that you're looking for in terms of what do I want in a tackle, and to me, Fashanu is that guy at number 11. At number 12, we have Green Bay. Shout out to the Packers, because if you want to talk about full transitions, here it is. Green Bay has to move on from the Aaron Rodgers era and bring in the Jordan Love era, which is going to be filled with a little bit of turbulence, but I think there's some reason for optimism when you are a Green Bay Packer fan. We had seen a lot of the excitement from when he did get a chance to play. JC Latham from Alabama is that pick for them. Having the ability to play tackle or kick inside the guard, this guy is fully suited for the NFL level. He's a smart player. He has the ability to pull very, very well and effectively, which is going to fit this offense nicely, in my opinion. So Latham is that guy that is the total embodiment of what the Packers should be looking for in the draft. Number 13, we have the Las Vegas Raiders and Javon Bullard from Georgia. You want to talk about actual versatility. He can play in the slot. He can play safety. This guy is going to be a force to be reckoned with. We had seen how impactful he was, and I think that looking at the Raiders secondary, this is something that they have to improve. But being able to use a guy as a chess piece is the reason why he could go as high as 13. We've seen teams do it in the NFL where they'll take a guy and be able to move him all over the place, which creates a ton of value, creates a ton of different looks for a defense. And Bullard, to me, is the perfect Las Vegas Raider. Number 14 now, we have the Houston Texans, who continue to ascend because the Texans have had a lot of turbulence since the whole Bill O'Brien era, Deshaun Watson era. Now they've kind of refocused their attention here, and I think addressing the defense is not something that they absolutely have to do, but the Texans are improving. They are absolutely improving. Their defense was really competitive last year. They stayed in a lot of games because of their defense. But now looking forward here, I think getting the interior defensive lineman Mason Smith out of LSU, athletic, long, strong, he is going to be a plug-and-play, seamless transition here to the middle of that defense. Works in multiple schemes, so seeing him at number 14 makes a lot of sense. At number 15, we have the New York Giants. I have them going with Jeremiah Trotter Jr. From Clemson. Super tough, just like his father was in the league. This guy is hard-nosed. He's going to get in between the gaps and absolutely fill them. He can get to the sideline. Jeremiah Trotter continues to receive a lot of preseason high praises, rightfully so, from his film. This is going to be a phenomenal Giants pick, and I think this is one that we should actually keep our eye on. The Giants are continuing to look better more and more as time progresses in the Brian Daboll era, and Jeremiah Trotter is going to be a nice plug-in for this Giants defense. To me, it's really an exciting pick. At number 16, we have the LA Chargers, and I have Raheem Sanders going from Arkansas. We all know about the Austin Eckler situation and where that could potentially progress to, but to me, I look at this through the light of they're getting an explosive playmaker, a guy that can make defenders miss. He has the ability to catch a lot of passes in the NFL, especially in the offense that he's going to be in. That is super conducive for that. To me, Raheem Sanders going to the Chargers makes a ton of sense. That's why I opted to go with him here at 16. But then piggybacking off of the Chargers selection, we have the Baltimore Ravens, who are dealing with their own running back controversy the way it is. We have TreVeyon Henderson from Ohio State, and people are going to say, hold on, what about J.K. Dobbins? But we have to realize, in terms of the actual contract that he's under, that he is going to be a free agent at the end of this season. His rookie deal will be up. So there you go. TreVeyon Henderson is the pick here at number 17. And I think with how important running the football is, they're going to go back to the well. And if they're not able to get an extension done here, with J.K. Dobbins, I think this is the move for them. They very well will prioritize the position, considering how critical it is to their overarching game. So to me, 17, Baltimore, TreVeyon Henderson. Number 18. Now, this is one that I have not mocked yet. I haven't mocked a single quarterback to the Minnesota Vikings until this point. Quinn Ewers from Texas. The Minnesota Vikings have made it clear, with Kirk Cousins also heading into the final year of his deal, he is not likely a part of the franchise's future. Therefore, they are going to have to go in a different direction. They had selected Jaron Hall in this past draft. I don't think that is going to, really detract them from selecting a guy in the first round this upcoming year. I think this is a regression year for Minnesota. More specifically, they're losing a lot of defensive starters from last year's team that was already ranked 31st as a collective defensive unit. Losing a lot of key guys, Eric Kendricks, Patrick Peterson. All of them were vital to last year's team, and some of the close wins that they had. To me, Minnesota is going to see a slight regression year, and they're probably going to end up taking a quarterback under the Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah era. At number 19, we have the Denver Broncos. Braylon Trice from Washington, big menacing defensive lineman. You look at him from the edge spot. Replacing Bradley Chubb is going to be a priority for this Denver Bronco team. I think that they are going to have a sufficient pass rush, but they're going to want to upgrade the position here in the offseason. A guy like Braylon Trice is another player that I want to see continue to progress and move forward. I think Denver is in a really good position in the Sean Payton era. This is going to be a good team this year. It's going to be night and day from last year. I can tell you that for free. Braylon Trice at number 19 is going to move the needle. Now at number 20, we have the Seattle Seahawks. Kingsley Suamataia from BYU, phenomenal pass protector. This is going to work out well for them. I think when you look at what Seattle has built so far, they have good infrastructure. For their quarterback, Geno Smith, this only adds to that. Geno Smith's going to have another productive year this year. The running game's going to do well. Sua Mataya is a perfect fit for this organization, the smart pick. And to me, Seattle continues to do things right. Once again, having some versatility with Sua Mataya, and Seattle just continues to be strong year in and year out because of these really good decisions. Now at 21, we have the Atlanta Falcons. Something they've been lacking in the past couple of years has been edge rushing, and I've highlighted that multiple times. Jack Sawyer from Ohio State, the ultimate motor guy. From a technical standpoint, he is going to be a very, very advanced player in the draft, and I think you're going to see that with some of the production this year. Jack Sawyer fitting into Atlanta. Terry Fontenot is going to, not hesitate to pull the trigger on an edge to help out this defense. I love this pick for Atlanta. At 22, we have Jacksonville. Jacksonville has to improve on the interior. I think that it's been blatantly obvious in the Trent Baalke era. He prioritizes the trenches. That extends back to Trayvon Walker and all these other guys on the defensive side of the ball. And I think when you look, once again, addressing tackle in the first round this past year, as well as, they had the Walker Little selection too from the year prior. The offensive line is very, very important. And, losing Cam Robinson hurts, and, Juwan Taylor's gone. So a lot of things have got to happen for Jacksonville. Brandon Scherff is one that you have to be excited about once again returning. But I think Cooper Beebe from Kansas State is a total impact player. His injury last year is the reason he wasn't able to come out. But I think when you look in totality, the Jags are going to be in a really good spot here at 22. 23, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers. And the Pittsburgh Steelers, to me, Troy Franklin from Oregon is that guy. Total speedster. He's exactly what the Steelers are looking for in terms of a wide receiver that's going to be able to stretch the field. You look at the collective unit they have with Deontay Johnson and George Pickens. Add a guy like Troy Franklin in, who's got tremendous speed, is going to totally open up this offense. To me, this is the perfect marriage for the Steelers offense, and they're going to hopefully be able to run the ball a little bit more effectively this year. But overall, I love this for the Steelers. At number 24, we have the Dallas Cowboys, Ja'Tavion Sanders from Texas, the athletic tight end, true red zone threat. And they're going to have to replace the production of Dalton Schultz. Obviously getting Ferguson in the 4th round this past year is thought to help that for sure. But I think Ferguson's going to be a nice complementary tight end. Think Blake Jarwin to Dalton Schultz. I think Ja'Tavion Sanders is a tremendous talent. A local product in terms of being able to see him consistently. Dallas has the most intel of any team on this guy, so to me, Ja'Tavion Sanders is a player that you want to be watching and will likely be on Dallas's radar. At number 25, we have the Miami Dolphins, another guy in terms of a local product getting his chance to play for the team he went to school at, and that's Zion Nelson. Zion Nelson's another player that very well could have gone into the draft, opted not to, and now is going to be rewarded. He is going to be a first-round pick this upcoming year. Tremendous guard, for the Hurricanes. I think when you look at how much of a priority it's going to be to protect Tua, this goes another length in doing so. It just makes sense. You have to protect him. This offense is, almost fully predicated on his health. So ensuring that you get a phenomenal pass protector in Zion Nelson will be a key priority. Number 26, we have the New York Jets. New York Jets go ahead and get Cameron Kinchins from Miami, another Miami product off the board. The Jets defense is already tremendous. I thought about the receiver position, but I think when you look at what you can add to this secondary, Cameron Kinchins is a tremendous player, flies around the football field, has great instincts, and I don't think Joe Douglas will shy away when he sees a player as talented as Kinchins on the board. Some of these teams are a little more strict to, maybe taking a guy for a positional fit, but I feel like Joe Douglas at times is looking for that best value. So to me, at 26, that's where the Jets go. Now at 27, we have the San Francisco 49ers. Now, with this team, I think that there are a lot of expectations for how the year is going to progress. Brock Purdy being out is going to hurt them, which is crazy to think. If I would have said that a year ago, a lot of people would be saying, who is that? But now moving into the year, you have Sam Darnold, you have Trey Lance, and Rome Odunze is the player I want to watch here from Washington. 6'3" frame, good after the catch, good. He is one of those guys that is going to be super competitive on the perimeter, and he's able to get out of press, in and out of his route smoothly. I like this pick. I think this is the total 49er pick, and it's going to help out this offense tremendously moving forward. 28, we have the Detroit Lions, and I've been pretty consistent thinking that they're probably going to take an interior defensive lineman here, Kreeshawn Newton from Illinois. Big reason why they were tough to run on this year at Illinois was because of Newton. His ability to take up a lot of space in the interior is a big reason why Detroit would actually select him, a team that was very porous in terms of run defense. They struggled also against the pass, but something that you have to be a little more hyper-focused on is where can this team go from here? Their offense was tremendous last year. The defense needed a little bit more improvement. So to me, I think it makes a lot of sense to plug and play a guy like Kreeshawn Newton. At number 29, we have the Buffalo Bills. Malik Neighbors from LSU. I'm going to continue to put the hype on this guy. I think another year in this system with Brian Kelly, Jaden Daniels, they have to be a little bit more consistent through the air. I felt like if Max Johnson had been there, similar to with Kayshon Boutte in his fall off, I think that's a little bit of the reason why we didn't see, as much production as I would have liked to see out of Neighbors. But to me, this is a player that we have to have on our radar. He's super talented, a phenomenal route runner. This is one of those guys that Buffalo is going to really latch on to. They have to be more explosive at the receiver position. I like Gabe Davis as a 2, but I think having Neighbors and Gabe Davis is going to be pretty exciting moving forward. In addition, obviously, to Stephon Diggs being that number 1 wideout. So Buffalo to me is going to have a priority set on receiver in this upcoming offseason. At number 30, we have the Cincinnati Bengals, and I look at the Cincinnati Bengals as a really good destination for Kalen Bullock. Kalen Bullock is a terrific safety who is rangy and has a good feel for the football, good ball skills. That's everything that you're looking for in terms of a guy on the back end when you're in a very loaded AFC conference. You look at Buffalo, Kansas City, you have the Chargers as well as the Jags, all teams that are looking to be threats through the air, and Bullock's definitely going to help out this team long-term at that safety position. 31, we have Kansas City, and no surprise here, they want to go with more speed. Xavier Worthy from Texas is one of those seamless transitions. They have a type, right? They absolutely have a type here in Kansas City. That's guys that are able to make plays happen with the football in their hands and have a ton of speed. And to me, there's no better player that remains on the board than Xavier Worthy. I think if Franklin would have been here, that would have made some sense, but Worthy is one of those guys too that continues to rise up boards. I think he's going to have a humongous year at Texas. At number 32, we have the Philadelphia Eagles. To me, Johnny Wilson. This team is looking for another receiver. When you have the combination of Devonta Smith, you have A.J. Brown and Johnny Wilson. Johnny Wilson's 6'7", guys. 6'7", huge red zone threat. Him and Dallas Goedert in the red zone are going to be a nightmare for teams to try to cover. And the team that is, currently slotted to be a Super Bowl champion this upcoming year goes ahead and gets a guy that's 6'7", is going to make life very tough for opposing defenses. So that will conclude our first round. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you do enjoy NFL content. I really appreciate you stopping by, checking out the video. Let me know in the comment section below who is your favorite prospect in this year's class and why. Thanks again, and we will catch you in the very next Utility Sports video.